So I ended up getting a bad case of FOMO. And it all started off with this, the DJI Action 4. I got the Action 4 November 2024 after Black Friday, and I've been vlogging with it, making videos pretty much every day since. So on YouTube, I've accumulated over 200 videos. 100 of those plus have been using the Action 4. The Action 4 was really good to me. When I first got it, I was just blown away by what it could do. And as I've been vlogging, a lot of the people that I follow and I watch their videos, a lot of them are action camera guys too, and they've been starting to buy the Action 5s, the Action 6s, the Nanos, and I felt like maybe I'm behind because I have this camera from how many years ago, but at the same time, I couldn't find anything wrong with it. But for some reason, I just felt like I was missing out. I ended up having a little bit of extra money. I had a lot of curiosity, went on YouTube, started watching videos. It was around Christmas time, started finding myself looking at cameras, and I ended up purchasing the Action 6. The Action 6 is what I'm shooting on right now. It's on 4K 24. I'm using the FE color mode at 50%. And you know, I guess I'm making this video because I don't know necessarily that the Action 6 is the end-all be-all camera. I mean, with the Action 4, when I first got it, I was coming from, you know, just a simple cell phone, and I would take videos. The thing I liked about the Action 4 was that I was able to have a dedicated camera to shoot things with, and it was so easy to bring around. It was so much fun experiencing like this kind of technology, an action camera. Everything was so stable, and I was able to just bring it along, capture, you know, throw it in the app, upload it to media, and it was just really easy. And I think the experience alone made me so happy about the DJI Action 4. I ended up making a full video just about how happy I was with the Action 4. Now with the Action 6, if you were to ask me, you know, do I feel the same way? And I think the true answer is no, I don't. I don't feel the same like excitement and endless possibility feeling from getting the Action 6. I think it's because in the last few years, technology really hasn't gotten all that much better. I mean, there are a lot of advantages with the Action 6, but the Action 6 ends up costing, I paid $369. After tax, it ended up being $399. And that's not even including the macro lens that everyone keeps on talking about. I don't have the macro lens. And when I look at the Action 4, with the Action 4, it was $200. I ended up getting a memory card, a cage, I got a selfie stick, all these little attachments. It just seemed like such a better deal. I think with the Action 6, there's a little bit of disappointment. Not only in what it does, but I think because it didn't come with all the extras. I mean, you could pay for them, but I was really surprised that like it didn't come with a cage. And I mean, it doesn't need a memory card, so I guess it's okay that it didn't come with a memory card, but you feel like you're paying a premium, but you're not feeling like you got ripped off. I don't want to say that. But if I can compare the Action 4 and the Action 6, I don't feel like it's that big of a difference. The Action 4 is still a fantastic camera. It could still connect with the DJI mics. I'm actually using a mic mini right now that I would use with my Action 4. It still does everything that the Action 4 does. The things that it can do that the Action 4 can't, obviously, it has the variable aperture. And this isn't a video about the technology of the Action 6. It's just, for me, I'm just an everyday user. I'm just a normal guy. I vlog my day. I create videos, I edit them, I post them. And with the Action 6, I just feel that, you know, it wasn't that big of a difference. Some people have said they can see the footage and they could see that it's better. And I think all of that is like subjective. I mean, when you use the Action 4 in daylight or out in like proper lighting settings, it honestly looks amazing. When you use the Action 6 in the same way, amazing. One of the biggest advantages that the Action 6 has is that it doesn't struggle as much in low light. But at the same time, what I've noticed is a lot of things are really blown out and it's a lot brighter and crispier. The only way that I can explain it is the way the Action 4 looked was a little bit more like a camera when it was on standard dewarp. But then with the Action 6, I just feel that it's a little bit crispier and subtle, where like it's really hard to explain, but it looks a little more refined and more like a cell phone. And I don't know necessarily that that's a good thing or bad thing. To me, I've become used to it, but there was a time when I would say that that's a bad thing. I don't like that because it looks like a phone. If it's going to look like a phone, I might as well use a phone. Phones have also become so good where, is that really a bad thing that it looks like a cell phone? The answer is probably no. I guess, so if I can really sum it up, the Action 6, as far as the benefits, you can use the square sensor and shoot both vertical and horizontal at the same time. So if you're going to post on Instagram, or you're going to post on TikTok, and you're going to post on YouTube, you don't have to worry about which way to put your camera and how you want the footage. The Action 6 now also does 8K, but at the same time, I don't know necessarily that you need 8K. I mean, for the average consumer, who's going to use 8K footage? Do you even have a computer fast enough to process 8K footage? You want to sit there and upload 8K footage. To me, I'm on the go. I don't really have time for that. The biggest I'll go is 4K. And for the most part, I only upload in 1080p. But if you find yourself in the same boat as me and you have an Action 4 and you're thinking of going to an Action 6, if you have the money, I definitely think it's an upgrade. There's a lot of things that it does better. For example, with the Action 4, when I sync my mic mini, oftentimes it takes about probably 5 seconds. So sometimes I'm going to record, I start talking, and the mic hasn't even connected yet. So you hear the standard in-camera mic, and then all of a sudden you'll hear like a little click, and then it turns to the mic mini. And sometimes you say something good or something happens. So the speed on this isn't as fast. And then with the Action 6, almost instantaneously, the mic is already paired up. It's definitely better. I also think the screen on it, I guess it's OLED versus like LED, I think. I don't really know what the Action 4 screen is. It's not bad. It's not bad by any means, but on the Action 6, it is a lot brighter. Both of them still can connect with your phone. They can both use the Mimo app. And at $200 now, I just don't know if the Action 6 necessarily is double the camera. I think if you're just a normal person just trying to document your day, the Action 4 probably is spectacular. If you were to ask me about this camera, I do love it. If you ask me about the Action 6, it just feels better. Is it double the price better? And I think that's the problem that I struggle with. I don't necessarily think it's 2 times the price better. And once you add on the macro lens, is it 3 times the price better? I don't think so. But at the same time, the Action 6 footage is very nice. You now have film tones where you can actually change the color on your footage. So a lot of times for me, I would shoot in D-Log M and then I would color grade the footage. On the Action 6, you have, I believe it's 5 different film tones, and you can use those and it can give your footage a little bit of a signature look. You can adjust it from 30% all the way to 100% on each filter. And it just makes your footage have a different look. But that allows you to just film and not have to color grade unless you want to color grade. And if you do want to color grade, there is still D-Log available, and you can do that as well. I think that overall, the Action 6 is a fantastic camera. If I were in the market and I had $400, actually, I think more realistically, you need $600. If you have $600 and you can afford to buy the macro lens, I definitely think the Action 6 is worth it. I definitely think the Action 6 is worth it if you have that money to spend. And I don't have the macro lens. I don't know necessarily if I'm going to purchase the macro lens, because at the same time, like, I've watched a lot of the footage and I do think it looks great, but I kind of think that I'm also having FOMO with the macro lens, that this camera is not going to perform great without it. And I don't think that's the case at all. The camera itself is just so good as is. I don't know necessarily that a macro lens will make it that much better, but you know, again, I don't know. Eventually, I probably will get it just because it's available, and I'm sure the fear of missing out is going to hit me again. But I guess, you know, I guess I'm making this because if you find yourself in the position like you have an Action 4 or possibly you have an Action 5, is it worth the upgrade? I think if you have the money, there are a lot of benefits. Even from the 5, I think having the like open gate type availability, I think the aperture adjustment, it does work. But when I look at the footage between a 4, 5, and 6, and the only time I can really tell the difference is when that exact footage is displayed from 4, 5, and 6. It's not going to be night and day like if you're shooting from, you know, an iPhone 8 and then you're comparing it to like a 17. It's not going to be that drastic. So, you know, is it better? In all aspects, yes, it is better. And I think if it's worth it, just depends on how much you can afford. I think you can make amazing videos with an Action 4. I'm sure even further back, because I was so blown away by the 4 at all it can do. I mean, it can do 4K, it could do slow motion, it could do everything that you would pretty much want it to do, it's able to do. The Action 6 just does everything a little bit better. And I don't know. I mean, even to this day, I still see people talking about the Action 4, that they like the footage better from the Action 4. But at the end of the day, when you're making these videos for YouTube especially, or any social media, I really don't think the camera is going to necessarily matter. I think it's more so on the story or what you're trying to get across. And I think the sound, visually, they're all great cameras. From the Nano, the Pocket 3, the Action 4, 5, 6, they're all good. I don't really think you can make a mistake. It's just a matter of what you can afford. If I didn't have the extra money to buy the 6, and I was able to resist the fear of missing out, I would still be happy with the Action 4, probably for the foreseeable future. I mean, you know, just up to like last month, I was still making videos, still with this camera, still same amount of views, still same response, and I was honestly happy with it. I was completely happy with it until I just got bombarded with all the Action 6 videos, and it got to me. It got to me. I fell for their tricks. I spent the money, and I'm not disappointed. I'm not disappointed at all. I actually love the Action 6. I like the ability to use the film tones. I'm still trying to figure it out. There are a lot more functions on the Action 6, but I think if there's anything, if you find yourself filming, a lot of times you go into like dusk or night, or you film in like dark places. I film in a lot of like bars and restaurants. And I do notice the Action 6 blows the Action 4 out of water when it comes to low light. But if you're normal, not normal, but if you're just a regular filmer, if you're not a nocturnal person, you're going out during the daytime, and you find yourself filming like out on the streets, just normal day behavior, the Action 4 is going to be really good. The Action 5, from what I understand, is even better in low light. There's also a super night mode feature, I believe, in the 5. The 5 can pretty much do everything that the 6 does, but again, the 6 is just a little bit better. And the difference between the 5 and the 6 is even slimmer. So those are just things to consider if you find yourself in the market. You know, I know that the fear of missing out is really hard to resist. I'm resisting it on this macro lens. I don't know necessarily that the footage of the macro lens really sold me, but I mean, it does look cool when you stick it on and it's all beefy. That is cool. But $160 cool? I don't know. I could spend $160 on a lot of tacos. So it has me resisting. But I don't know. I just hope this was helpful because it took me a long time. I had the Action 4 and I kept on telling myself, don't do it, don't do it. There's nothing wrong with this. And I hate to say it, but like there really isn't. There isn't anything wrong with it. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, well, I was still making cool stuff with this. The only thing is now I'm making it with this. So I don't know if that helps you at all. I guess I just, when it comes down to the features, I think the most important thing is finding the features that you need. The Action 6 has plenty of features already available. And the question is like, are you really going to use them? Do you even need them? Do you even care about film tones? Do you even want a color grade? I think that's the thing. A lot of people don't. I mean, for probably the last, like I said, I think I'm like on vlog 120 now, maybe close to it. And I want to say for like the last 30, 40 videos, I got so sick of color grading. I was just shooting this thing on standard color. No one ever said, hey, why is your footage not colored? The standard color on all these cameras is so good. The image quality from them is so good. The slow motion is so good. They're just fun cameras to have. If you don't have an action camera, hands down, I suggest getting a DJI. They're great cameras. They work really well. They're very fun. But if you're in the market for like a specific one, you know, you're not going to make a bad choice. I guess when it comes down to it, that's the whole point of this. There is no bad choice. The only thing is what you can afford, and that's about it. Beyond that, you're going to make great videos. So I wish you luck. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you make a great choice. Catch you next time.